YouTube-bound community, Beatles fans, random people on the internet. My name is Giggens, and we're here today to talk about the Beatles' Por Siempre, or the Beatles Forever, released in Spain in 1971. A really fascinating release. This thing basically covers tracks that weren't on available British LPs at the time. So for quite a while, this was kind of highly sought after. It was basically past masters or rarities before those came to be. So this collects all the tracks from Magical Mystery Tour that were sort of floating around, not because that was an EP in most countries. And it collects a lot of B-sides. So you've got I'm Down, Yes It Is, Blue, The Inner Light, I Call Your Name, and then a couple of an A and B with Day Tripper and We Could Work It Out. But it's a great album because historically, contextually, it's fun to listen to this thinking about who bought it, trying to collect these songs. Because for the longest time, this was one of the only places you could find The Inner Light on an album was on this thing. So it's fun because you just think of how easy it is to access songs these days. The internet, done. Back in the day, you had to source out the single. If you couldn't find that, you'd hope it was on an album. And this was one of those things. So it was also issued in Argentina, Venezuela, Brazil, and a lot of other countries too. But it's a cool release. Let me show you what the inside looks like here. This happens to be an original copy from 1971 with the dark blue label. The reissues after this have a lighter blue label, but this one has the original dark blue. Sound-wise, it's a bit tricky and can be hit or miss. So from what I've read online, a lot of people think this is in mono, and a lot of people think it's in fake stereo. So I'm not sure who to believe. The songs themselves don't necessarily sound super clear. In fact, Strawberry Fields Forever, the vocal sounds like it's coming out of an old radio. Let me take you down, because I'm going to. You know, it sounds like a song from the 30s, but the rest of the songs of the album do sound pretty decent. The cymbals on We Can Work It Out are cartoonishly splashy and dense. You know, that part in the middle bit where Ringo's just hammering the cymbals like one beat at a time. Really big, splashy sound. Not very crisp and clear, just a really kind of splash. Your Mother Should Know has this weird phasing. It almost sounds like it's spacey in and out once in a while, which is weird. Penny Lane sounds pretty good, but that was always a really crisp sounding song anyway. So yeah, sound-wise, it's probably not the most desirable thing, but collectability-wise, it's just kind of fun to have, especially just putting it back into being a Beatles collector in the 70s, wanting to collect these B-sides that were hard to come by, you know? So in America, you know, this never came out because all these songs were released in America. I mean, they all were released all over the world, but these songs were on albums already, like Day Tripper, you know, was on Yesterday and Today, and Magical Mystery Tour was an entire album, etc., etc. I guess the only song that would have been different was I'm Down, because that wasn't released on anything at that time, besides the B-side of Help, but, you know, here's the back cover for you. Nice wide album shots of the guys, pretty cool. And the track listing up here. And I'll have much better pictures of these on my Instagram page, which is Giggens with an underscore, so you can see them in much more detail when this thing goes up. But yeah, released October 8th, 1971. It covers 1965 to 1968 for non-album tracks on the original British releases, released on the Odeon label. So that's it. Just a quick little video today. I just really enjoy this thing. Is it the best sounding album you'll ever hear? No. Are the songs great? Of course. Is it cool? Yep. I love finding releases from different countries and just experiencing what it would be like to pick up this album in a store in a country I've never been to before, and this might be my favorite Beatles album if I grew up in Argentina or something. It's just fun. So for collectability's sake, the Beatles Forever, here you go. Yeah, short little video. My name is Giggens. This has been the Beatles. Por Siempre. Out now on Odeon. I'm sure they're around online. I actually found this in a store, believe it or not, several years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. And I picked it up purely because it was the Beatles. I didn't have it. It was from a different country. It was speaking my language. So there you go. The Beatles, Por Siempre. Do you have this thing? Do you remember it from the 70s? Did you ever know anybody that had a copy of this and thought, oh, that's cool? Or, you know, let me record that to my cassette tape here. Let me know what your thoughts are on this thing. Just a fun little release. Couldn't find anything about it online besides a couple of pages, so thought I'd make a video talking about it to build a discussion here for historical documentation of the Beatles. But there you go. My name is Giggens. Beatles forever, 10 out of 10. Come on, man, it's the Beatles. That's it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.